Alright everybody, and welcome back to episode 22 of my GregTech New Horizons playthrough. So, last episode, what did we do? We made the assembler, we got our new tool forge, which I think, yep, in my inventory. Did a little bit of building, we made some other machines downstairs as well, but on this episode, we, I think, well, I'm already kind of uncovering some of the stuff that I did this episode, I believe, but, yeah, you know what, let's just get right into it. So, to start things off, I decided I am running low on some essential ores, so I wanted to do some more mining, and now that we have the tool forge, we can make some tools. So I think we made this last episode. We make this right now. Alright, and by this I mean the mining hammer from Tinker's Construct. This mining hammer does a 3x3 area of mining and will allow me to get some ores a little bit more efficiently, a little faster. Right now I just made it out of some scrap materials that I had laying around. Made the head out of iron, which will allow us to repair it with iron instead of, like, if I made it with a steel head, we would need to repair it with steel, and we are running a little bit low on steel currently. And that finishes our hammer quest that I guess was, not required, but I didn't know it was a quest, I guess. But yeah, that finishes another quest for us. So yeah, moving on to what we did next. And I'm sorry that some of this stuff is done previous and then I kind of voice over and talk it through. That's just kind of how I'm doing things right now. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out. What's the most efficient way? What's like the prettiest way? All that stuff. So right here I am working on some iron tank parts for our little creosote tank that we kind of planned out last episode. And I also wanted to make a smaller tank for water to bring water down here to the work area that we got going on. And with this water, I'm going to use it mostly right now to make some more blast bricks to expand our blast furnace and make steel a little bit more efficient to make, I guess. Instead of making one steel brick every X amount of seconds, we can now make two, so doubling our steel process. So we made some fire bricks, smelted them up, and we're going to utilize those fire bricks with the concrete you need. I think I need 24 of these to finish the next quest in the blast furnace line. And I already mined up some gypsum here and processed it down. Now we just need the concrete. And as we know before, the concrete is like a bunch of this quartz sand and clay dust and calcite, I think, and stone dust, I think, and then water. So we'll speed this little water bit up, and with the magic of editing we can just make up our second blast furnace. And there you go. There's the second blast furnace, and I was wondering why it didn't finish the quest. And it looks like we need to get a whole stack of steel, so I think I can probably knock that out by the end of this episode. And here is the expansion of our blast furnace. I think eventually I gotta move this downstairs because it's really annoying to come upstairs to go get my steel, but for now this is kind of just where it's been sitting. So yeah, 2 blast furnaces. And being that we're kind of in the background working on our creosote tank and getting all that figured out, I figured we could get started on our first railcraft steam boilers. So there's a bunch of stuff to craft up for these guys, but that's our solid fuel and our liquid fueled boiler firebox, or fireboxes. And if you remember from last episode, we planned on putting those right over where we have the 3x3 cobblestone. And finishing up these quests, steel is still slow, so let's take those steel plates. And next it wants me to make a low pressure and a high pressure boiler tank, but I think I'm just for now going to do the high pressure. I don't know why you would do low pressure, maybe there's a reason. But yeah, so I kind of made a mistake here. I thought I could make this tank in, oops, I hate when I do that. Look at, there's a wooden one and an iron one. But yeah, I thought I could make the boiler tanks in my assembler, but that actually takes MV. So yeah, couldn't do that, but we still can just do regular crafting. It just requires 2 screws, where the assembler machine does not require those 2 screws. So it's not super more expensive. It's not too much more expensive. Just 2 ingots of, well, I guess 1.5 ingots, or maybe just 1 ingot technically, more than what it would be. And actually, I later learned that I could take those bolts right into the lathe machine and make those into screws. So I could have had 4 screws instead of 2. So I realized that a little too late. But that's kind of GregTech. I mean, you get used to doing something one way, and then you progress, and then things get cheaper, and you kind of forget about those cheaper methods for a little bit. At least that's kind of how I roll. So yeah, there's our 2 boiler tanks. And yeah, so those are going to run off of charcoal, and one's going to run off creosote. So once I get some pumps and conveyor belts for my creosote setup, we can start piping that down into the tank and into that drawer for the charcoal. And then I just expanded this big square is going to be where the steam tank is going to be. So I'm just going to do a full-size steam tank right off the bat here. It's just going to take some time to actually make that happen. But yeah, we're slowly going to work towards that, because our setup right now is doing fine. It could do better. So we will just kind of slowly work towards that. I think that's a good place for all that. We'll make it look cool and stuff. So right now we make a basic electrolyzer. This electrolyzer, I was making this electrolyzer to make the magnetic rods cheaper, but then it's been so long since I did the early game stuff of this pack that I've for some reason forgot that it's not that machine. It's a completely different machine. But anyways, we needed that electrolyzer for some stuff down the road anyway, so no harm, no foul. I just kind of forgot which machine it was, but it is the Polar Electrolyzer or something like that. I forget. We'll see it here in a minute. But yeah, this one right here, the electromagnetic polarizer. So luckily that machine's actually not too difficult to make. Just some more steel, a little bit of tin wires, easy stuff. I don't even think it required circuits, did it? No, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't even require a circuit, so that's good. So yeah, now I have the machine that I originally wanted. Yeah, so that's going to make electrolyzed rods, or whatever they're called, magnetic rods, cheaper. Instead of 4 redstone, you just throw it in this machine and it gets magneticized, you know? So yeah, that finishes 2 quests. We're moving up in the world here. Slowly making things cheaper, so now it wants me to make 16 steel rods and then make those to the magnetic versions, so we'll do that later. I realized that we are going to need to work our way towards the Twilight Forest, and in order to do so, I needed some silverwood and silverwood saplings, and greatwood and greatwood saplings. So we did a little bit of exploring. I marked these trees out in my previous endeavors, and that seemed to pay off pretty well. So yeah, you need the silverwood and the greatwood, and that quest will unlock Thaumcraft too. So Thaumcraft and Twilight Forest. So yeah, we're gonna need to go to Twilight Forest for quite a bit of stuff here, so we'll get this quest knocked out, and probably next episode maybe do Twilight Forest. So there's our sapling we need. And the greatwood trees I marked by finding the spider spawners underneath and just marking that. So yeah, that will unlock the Thaumcraft quest line. So yeah, we want to work towards this, which that's just a diamond and 4 circuits, which is not hard at all. That we can get that done pretty easily, and then that will open up our Twilight Forest portal. There you go, that's the word. Here we're making a bunch of motors. These motors will be utilized on the pumps that I was talking about for our creosote setup, and the conveyor belts to bring down the charcoal. So I'm just trying to batch craft a bunch of that stuff. We're going to start with 16. I think the full boilers require much more than 16 if I remember. I don't know if it's like 32 or whatever, but we'll find the sweet spot there. And this batch crafting took a long time because I don't really have all the machines to make things super efficiently, so we're just gathering all the bits and parts to make all the pumps and the conveyor belts, which require a lot of rubber, and the rubber requires the sulfur and the rubber dust. So slowly over time I made all the parts, and yeah, see, you can just put the bolts in there and have those made into screws right in the lathe, so that saves some materials as well. And typical Sleepy, I did my math wrong, so we need to go back and get some more bronze plates, which is not a problem. So there is all the bronze pipes for the pumps we are going to need. Actually didn't even need to make those last 2. That's hilarious. And you just throw those in the assembly machine now, and those will be my 16 pumps for the 16 creosote coke ovens. That's what they're called. And then we have the 32 motors for 16 conveyor belts. In order to do that, I need more rubber, I need some more tin cables, so we'll get that going. And with the magic of editing, there is 16 conveyor belts too. So we have that all ready to go. There's still some more like kind of infrastructure stuff I need. I need to make some more liquid pipes and stuff like that to bring all the creosote, and item pipes to bring the charcoal down to the basement here. And there we go with our 64 steel ingots, so that completes this ×2 steel quest. So we made the 2 blast furnaces and got a bunch of. So let's see here. Should I get? That's not terribly difficult to make, so we're just gonna go with the steel on this one, and we get 25 coins. Oh, and a loot bag and some coal coke. So that is pretty neat. And then it wants me to do 4 times, so we will do this here in the future. So definitely having 4 blast furnaces over just the one is way better, right? So yeah, we will get that done later. Do we have room for this? Yeah. Storage is becoming an issue, so I will have to start thinking about stuff for that. This is the kind of setup we got going on currently. I want to start bringing steam over here. Oh, steam and water. We're going to need water for these, obviously. And then the creosote's going to drop into here. Charcoal into here. Creosote going into the liquid fuel boiler box. Charcoal going into the solid fueled boiler box, and then water coming in. I wonder if we can bring it in from the top, then that would be nice. And then steam coming out into this. So I got my work cut out for me. We did some mining. We got a bunch of iron to kind of process down. Speaking of that, we got nothing going on in here, so let's do that while we talk. And yeah, just gotta do a lot of processing in between episodes. Wow, that's really loud. Maybe we will bring this down to there for now. Still messing around with sound settings and stuff like that, but yeah, I wanted to kind of give a little bit of a base tour of what we've been doing so far. Just slowly expanding. Things will keep changing as I think of better ways of doing stuff. All these machines will kind of move around here once this setup gets done, because this setup will most likely get me into probably HV. It'll stay similar to this, and then after HV we'll see what other kind of fuel we need to get into. This is obviously our newbie setup, and this will be kind of our after LV and after, and then yeah, it'll keep expanding. Still need to figure out something to do with these guys. And oh, hey, what are you doing? Need to figure out something to do with these guys. I want to start trading with them and see, like, can we get some pretty cool trades? Yeah, I want to do something with them. So gotta brainstorm on that. Obviously, we got all this work still going on. I just started to mine up some coal, and then compressing that into coal blocks. Where's that at? Some blocks of coal, and this is gonna help me make the flooring for, what is it, cooking, for blockheads. Help me make, where is it? This right here. This will help me make this flooring, which works in like a multi-block with all of these items, and making food items a little bit easier. But we also, to make food items a little bit easier, eating easier I should say, we have this going on. So we got all the gardens, got all the tofu stuff made up, and now this is what we need to work on. So I did all the beef welly because that's probably the easiest out of all of these. But I want to get that cooking for blockhead setup going so that it'll make these items easier. And then once we make these items, we get the healing axe. We really don't need to worry about eating as much, but we still want to make a bunch of different foods to gain some more hearts, right? I think there's a book that tells me how many items, or there's like a way of, let's see here, beef Wellington. So it says in here, eaten assisted in adding hearts. So I think you can just go into here and just be like, eaten, and that should show every, no, maybe you got to put not eaten. Maybe that'll show me everything that's not eaten. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, we can do that and then make all these items and just get as many hearts as we possibly can. Ooh, sorry, I sneezed. But yeah, that is kind of where we're at right now. This is going to be our little cooking for blockhead setup eventually when we get that going. I think this is enough room for now. Get all the little appliances in here, your shelving, your cabinets, and all that kind of good stuff. It's kind of what I made this building for. I also want to try and make a little like vanilla-ish mob farm. So you can get some mob drops. So I need to figure that out. Look at this guy, dude. He thinks he's cool. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, dude? Take that. That's what I thought. But yeah, this is where we're at. Yeah, just slowly plugging away at this pack. It's a big pack, and I'm having a great time. And yeah, we will. This is the coke oven setup that I showed a little bit ago. Slowly but surely getting all the coke ovens made. So we're going to start with 16. It's kind of overkill for now, but that should last us a little bit until we expand those boilers downstairs. Actually, I think they're like right below us here. Yeah, so that is episode 22 in the bag. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for episode 23. Right after I end this clip, we will be working on what we're doing in 23, and mostly I think that's going to be setting up our new Steam production, because once we get that set up, I don't need to set it and forget it kind of thing. You don't need to worry about it. It doesn't require a lot of maintenance, I don't think. We'll probably still keep the little solar boiler that I have up there. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we'll move it or something, but yeah, so next episode I want to kind of get this figured out. That means I got to do a lot of iron processing, and a lot of making those tank walls and getting some glass made up for the glass, and then get the valves going, and then yeah, so in between episodes I want to make a bunch of those. So have a great week. I hope to have another episode out next week. The plan is the goal is to have at least 2 episodes per month. I have a very busy life outside of this, with work and family and just regular day-to-day stuff, so I think my goal this year is to have 2 a month at minimum, and if we go above that, that's great. If the goal is 2, so more is better always, but the goal is 2. So I appreciate the support. I think episode 1 almost has like 300 views, which is wild, because this is just kind of me documenting this progress that I've had in this really cool pack that has a awesome community around it. I every once in a while get on Discord and just kind of linger and read what people are saying, read all about the updates. Speaking of updates, I think they're working on 2.6 and I am still on 2.4. I don't have all the knowledge to update efficiently yet. There was a comment down on one of my episodes that I'll refer back to update more efficiently and keep all the the journey map stuff going, so I don't lose these every time I update. But yeah, that is episode 22 in the bag. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, and I will see you in episode 23. Thank you. Bye-bye.